Okay, the countdown is running. I have been quite lazy and did not organize any sound or any music to go under the countdown because it's been 2 years since I did an 8 p.m. quiz. Wow. And I thought I was just copying all my presets, but I didn't because of the background and all of those things. But there you go. I'll say briefly hello to Jim and to Wolf, who are in the chat, and I will be with you in 8 minutes and 47 seconds. This really does need hold music or something, doesn't it? That's really annoying because I did have some music which I could play on hold, which was royalty free and wouldn't cause problems. And when I loaded it up, it's not there. It's not there. Ah. I do have an entire music podcast, Jim, another Untitled Music Podcast at another Untitled Music Podcast.com. But when I applied for the music license, I applied for a license in the name of that podcast, not in the name of all of my things. So the license only applies to that as a podcast. Also, there's you have to get a separate license if you're streaming it. Just music licensing. So that would have then doubled it. So I would have had to get a license for putting it on a podcast which people could listen to at their leisure, and a separate, well, an additional clause in the license for for something like this. I have had to professionally understand music licensing globally, both when I managed a radio station and during the first .com boom when I was preparing things for audiovisual multimedia presentations, as they might. Fuck, 5 minutes to go. And if you ever have to, you know, worry about music licensing, I mean, don't. It's awful. It is absolutely awful. You really do not want to have to put up with it. Okay, I'm going to turn the mic off for a bit because it's 4 and a bit minutes to go. Does need music though, doesn't it? Oh, to Wolfie! There are 2 wolves on the channel. Wow. Two minutes and counting, except I'm looking back at the stream coming back to me and it says there's 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go. So, as usual, there's about a 1 minute lag between me and it going up and coming back and looking at it in the panel in YouTube Studio. This is the same as I used to experience a couple of years ago when doing the 8 p.m. quiz. I'm not sure when the chat will happen, so say something now. That's at 1 minute 30 to go. And I bet it will take about a minute to come back up in the chat. Oh, no, that wasn't too bad. That was only Adam Kent's back. Now. That's about 15 seconds to the chat there. You can't see me yet, but I've got 2 different ways of looking at the chat. One is in YouTube Studio, and one is in the streaming software I'm using, which is Ecamm Live, which is what I used before. It's complete overkill for what I want to do, but that's the whole thing about having worked in professional media is I want all the tools. Oh no, all the chat is there. I just need to scroll up. There we go. Oh look, 35 seconds now. There's no magic when I'm chatting in the intro, is there? Absolutely no magic at all. 25 seconds. Better zip my pants up. 20. Refill the wine. 10 seconds. And in theory, this will automatically roll over to the camera. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello! Yeah, it's me, Stilgarian. Hello. It's been, as I say, 2 years since I've done a live stream, and that would have been the 8 p.m. quiz, the end of year 2023 quizzes. Hello to everyone who's here. There's about a dozen of you so far, and that's lovely. And I can see you're all regulars. Do say hello in the chat. There's about 15-20 second lag between the chat and me. Now, this is very much an unstructured chat. I just thought I'd say hello because it's been a while. For several reasons. One is I've got a crowdfunder going, so I thought I'd ask or answer questions about that. I thought I'd answer questions more generally. And as for the crowdfunder, and quite frankly, you should think about going there if you haven't already done so. I think everyone in the chat has already so far. Go there. I will be repeating some of the things that are there at the 9pmedict.com/summer2025. He checks. Yes, I have written it down correctly. But I mean, throw questions at me. I'm going to chat. If it all gets stuck, I've got some videos of birds and wallabies to show you. That's the kind of exciting person I am. Oh, cat fell off my pen. I am not Kerry O'Brien. Anyway, he had a green pen, didn't he? So let's have a look at that. Let's say hello. I've said hello to some people in the chat, but I will say hello properly now that it's going. Hello to Jim, Wolf, Wolfie. They are different people. Adam Kent, hi. And the others there. Lindy Penguin, hi Lindy. Are you really a penguin? That's what I'd like to know. And Splinter Mike asks, what I am pouring? Well, that should come up. Let me just get it so the lighting catches that right. That is a broken wood cricket pitch Semillon Sauvignon Blanc, or actually a Sauvignon Blanc Semillon. If you would like me, ooh, I love how that's disappearing into the background. Well done with great. Haha, that's excellent. I think Snarky Platypus is watching. He may say hello in the chat. He may not. But we may be talking about this broken wood wine in another one. If you would like me to talk about the difference between a Sauvignon Blanc Semillon and a Semillon Sauvignon Blanc, I'm available to do that too. I'm happy to talk about how wine is labelled in Australia because I drink a lot of wine. Okay, let's have a look at your questions. I'll take Womble more as a comment rather than a question. Can't play Howling Billy. Jasmine starts. I suppose Jasmine is a cat, dog, child. Wolf. Jim said, heard the paw. Yeah, that's. I'm wearing a microphone. Lindy. Okay, shame you're not a penguin. Playing a penguin on TV. Oh, I haven't set it up. There was an excellent thing relating to a penguin, which I might relate. Let me just write that down. This is very informal. I was watching a live stream from British satirist Michael Spicer the other day. You might know him. He does the Room Next Door videos, where the conceit of the video is he's the person in the next room while Donald Trump or Keir Starmer or someone is giving a speech, and he is guiding them through it and commenting on it or whatever. He did a really shockingly disorganized live stream. His first one ever the other day. Camera, hello, is this on? Etc. Let me just write down penguin photo. I can't. It's over on the phone. Can't do that yet. Broken wood sounds like a terrible accident, says Wolfie. Yep. Now, Adam Kent has raised the important point that the difference between wines should be on the curriculum in primary schools in Adelaide, in South Australia. It's not yet, but it should be. But there's a magic thing that's 15%. So if you see something that's said on the label of wine, so this says it's Sauvignon Blanc Semillon. So like all food labeling, that's the order of the ingredients in order. So it means there's more Sauvignon Blanc than Semillon in this blend. It also means that there can be no more than 15% of some other kind of grape in this. Now, wine blending is an art, so you're allowed to kind of tweak it a bit. And that's important if you want the wine to be consistent every year. And Wolf Blast, despite the fact that he's... No, I'm not going to do language on this because I forgot to tick the thing to say I'll do language. His wine, I'm not a fan, but he is incredibly consistent. Like a Wolf Blast wine, if you know what it is and have it 1 year, it'll just be the same year after year. Anyway, so that means at least 85% of what is in there is Sauvignon Blanc or Semillon in that order. Same for 2024. It means that no more than 15% of the grapes in there can be from another year. Again, it's blending. They might have started making wine in another year and then blend it together. So this then says, that's the other trick. It doesn't say where it's from. These grapes could be literally from anywhere in Australia. So that's why you see sometimes, oh, it says wine of Australia. So there you go. That does mean it has to be Australian. But if you see something that says Barossa Valley, no more than 15% of the grapes can be from somewhere else. If you see a wine that says it's from southeastern Australia and there's no year on it, could be any damn thing. Should Club Penguin, asked Lindy Penguin, be added to the list of age-restricted social media platforms? Is Club Penguin still a thing? Can someone look that up for me? Does someone know? I will just say that there's some news stories around saying that the social media age restrictions. Okay, if you're new to me and know me from the music podcast or just my bullshit on, oh, I said a word, bullshit on the socials, I have been following the legal aspects of the social media age restrictions very closely, and I've been reporting on this kind of technological law for nearly 20 years. Whew, that's depressing. So there is actually no list. There is no list. The Online Safety Act, Section 63C, explains what can be, what are the criteria for something being an age-restricted social media platform. And it says, here's the criteria. If it does these things, it is. And the communications minister can make rules about it. It also says that the e-safety commissioner can advise the minister, and the minister has to take into account that advice when making their decision. So all we have so far is back earlier in the year, the communications minister passed a legislative instrument under Section 63 of the Online Safety Act 2021, I think it is, and said, okay, I will clarify the rules. Here's some more criteria for what an age-restricted social media platform is, or what would be considered to be one. And it's still a bit hand-wavy. It's about taking reasonable steps, major, what their primary purpose is and all of that stuff. But although the e-safety commissioner has published some field opinions, the minister has not actually made any designations. They've just said, well, this is what the e-safety commissioner says. So we now know, for example, that there's a couple of 15-year-olds, or I think one's about to turn 16, who are going to the High Court. Yes, they are making a High Court challenge. High Court said maybe the whole law is unconstitutional. They're coming back to that February. So they have a long summer break because, those robes are very hot, everything. Reddit has started today, I think, age restricting, but they are getting ready to do a High Court challenge. Like, none of this is, I was about to say none of this is law. I mean, it is law. There is a law which says these are the rules of what's in and out, but there has not been any actual determination of definitely what is and what's out. Any of these could say, oi, I disagree with the e-safety commissioner, and take it to the federal court tomorrow. So watch this space. But Club Penguin, let me see, is Club Penguin still a thing? That goes fast. That goes past fast when you hear. Oh, we've got more people here. I need to say hello. If you just joined us, this is just me talking rubbish and answering your questions. Penguins, Third Wolf, swapping devices. Where do I hide my cooler bar? Jim, you're showing your age. If I was organized enough, I would show you those ads from the 70s. Cask wine is making a comeback. It really is. Because there's so much good wine in Australia now. It's not really any more expensive to make good wine than rubbish wine or adequate wine. Anyway. Okay, yep, I can see that some of you are not happy with the way the social media age restrictions are coming in. All kicks off tomorrow, 10th of December, the magic date. Now, let me tell you about, okay, the URL on the screen. Oh, that's hard to do. I need more practice. There. There it is. That's for this season's crowdfunding campaign. And those of you who know my stuff know that I run this every season. This runs out tomorrow night, Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Excuse me, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Now, this has been a shorter campaign than usual, and I wanted to explain why. Anyway, what this crowdfunder supports is my older podcast, The 9 p.m. Edict, which is me talking to people about stuff. It's a little more structured than two old friends who are middle-aged white men talking about the news. Have a look it up, The 9 p.m. Edict. The other one is an untitled music podcast, which I do with Snarky Platypus, who I'm sure is watching. He's hiding. But put the glass down. Put the glass down a moment. I'm having technical problems with that. The company in the United States where I host that podcast has gone dark, gone offline, isn't responding to email. I went with that company because they were one of the few who does geo blocking on podcasts, because the music license I have for another untitled music podcast is only for Australia and New Zealand. They could do this. But now they've disappeared offline. And I'm really worried because the guy who founded the company lives in Florida and he has a very generic Latino sounding name. And I hope he hasn't been rounded up. Maybe he has. I really hope he hasn't. I'm hoping it's just something like, he's ill and something's gone wrong and payments haven't happened, or they've just gone out of business. I don't know. It's a bit of a worry. So another untitled music podcast, it's still there. You can see existing episodes in most of the apps, but I've got like another whole episode ready to go, and the Sunday singles I haven't been able to post. There you go. And the third thing this supports, well, I mean, is me. I have a relatively low income because reasons. I don't do enough work. I have health things which prevent that. So roughly, I mean, call it half my income has been coming from the pods and the crowdfunders and things. Another half from being a nerd for hire and a bit of journalism and whatever. Mostly nerd for hire just the last couple of years. And a couple of my primary sources of income disappeared. Who in the chat have heard of Mianjin Quarterly? Let's throw that up on the screen. Mianjin, many people pronounce it. Mianjin is closer to the indigenous pronunciation. Quarterly literary journal, as the image of the current edition, which came out last week, shows you. 85. It's been running for 85 years. I can see some of you know it. Yes. It was, well, it is owned by the University of Melbourne, and particularly the Melbourne University Press. And a few months ago, they decided that they were going to put a bullet in its head, and they have. So there were two editions coming out. Let's go through to the last two. There they are. Amusingly, spring 2025 was the 50th anniversary of the dismissal. So there was a lot of interesting political stuff in that. And then the 85-year celebration. But the editor and the deputy editor were just told one day it's no longer a thing. And my involvement with it, my involvement was really to, yeah, I did website stuff. Why isn't that coming back to me? Come back to me. Where am I? Where am I? Oh, there I am. Um, 10 years ago, I built the paywall and got the whole thing online so they could have all the articles there and have digital subscriptions. And ironically, just before the financial year ran out in May, June this year, I just finished integrating all of the print and digital subscriptions into one thing so that around now we were going to do a whole restructure of the subscriptions and do promotion and whatever. I don't want to talk too much about the decisions at Midgen, but it was just weird because they said, oh, you know, it's a financial decision, bang. But there hadn't been any discussion at all about how the finances could be improved. There's some conspiracy theories about this. I'm not buying into it. I just think it's a wrong decision. You know, when you look at it, 85 years of a literary journal and it's gone. Okay, what else do you want to know? I've told you that's one of the reasons this has become more critical this quarter. Oh, I should tell you the other big thing. As you may know, I have been living up in the Blue Mountains at Wentworth Falls for the last, coming up to 15 years. It'll be 15 years next month. And it was only ever meant to be for a few weeks. I will be moving back to Sydney, probably, in all likelihood, before the end of March. I've mentioned Snarky Platypus. You may know that he and I are friends, not special friends, just friends. I'm friends of the family and all of that. He is buying an apartment. I will be sharing with him. I've been down in Sydney every Saturday for a little while now, helping him look at places. And when something is appropriate, I'll be moving down there. So this campaign, as I say, ends tomorrow. And I really need your support to, you know, there, that way. There we go. To get through beyond Christmas and into January. I think we're covered till just into the new year. Some more would be nice. But when, let me show you. Here's a picture from, oh God, here's a picture from 15 years ago. Oh no, this one first. Oh, they're meant to be in the other order. Let me just do that. So there's Pong, my ex. That's our place in Enmore in Sydney. That's him moving back. Let me just get this out the way. That's him moving from Australia. He's an Australian citizen. He's also a Thai citizen. Yeah, piss off, I'm leaving. That's his piss off, I'm leaving party T-shirt when he left. He's still around. We're still friends. He works for, can I say it? Yeah, I think I can say this. He works for a large international organization and travels the world doing many interesting things. And I'm very envious. He's also been going to the gym a lot since that photograph was taken. So here is just one section of me packing up that house, and that's just books. So when sorry, I was just distracted by something on the other screen. It was me looking back at me a minute and a half later, or much later. When I move into the new place, I will need some funds to get everything out of long-term storage. That's going to be probably when I add in getting my stuff down from the mountains and that stuff out to storage. It's going to be a couple of grand. And then there's just some other costs. I mean, it'll be great because I will no longer be paying to have this in my whole office in storage. But there's a lot of stuff there that I just don't need anymore, right? Like I've been without it for 15 years, but there's some great books. There's vinyl records. There's stuff. So I'll be running a series of, I mean, they're kind of unboxing videos, but they're not. So anyone who's supported me, the podcast, any of these crowdfunders financially will be able to take part in that. And I'm going to tell everyone, there'll be an email out tomorrow to tell everyone that. And to encourage people to say, look, just, throw in $20. I might make that. Yeah, I'll make that the minimum, $20 minimum. You go into the thing, and then I'll be able to tell you all when those things are happening, and you'll be able to just grab stuff. A lot of it I'll just be giving away. I mean, who would pay money for the collection of space opera books by E.E. Smith? But there's some stuff that people might well pay money for. So the band, the KLF, wrote a book called The Manual, which is how to have a #1 hit pop song in England. I've got a copy of that. Very limited release book. That one you'll have to pay for. And a few other things. What else is happening? Oh, hi, Static San. Yeah, unpacking videos. I don't know how I'm going to, whatever, I'll arrange that. So that's coming up. So, yes, this crowdfunder will finish tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Look, please consider, and I will add in, contribute to that. If you have already, you will go into the private video chat. What shall I call it? It's sort of like OnlyFans. Only boxes. There we go. Wolf has said the KLF might want the book back since they burnt all their money. They burnt a £1 million. They have other money. They're also getting quite old now. Bill Drummond and Jimmy County of the KLF. I mean, have a look at some recent photos. I love their work. I've got a copy of Bill Drummond's book 45. He decided he would write a book about his art at ages 33, 45, and 78 because vinyl, right? I've got a copy of 45. It's really interesting. It's his attitude to art and creativity and things like why. I love this. One of the things Bill Drummond did was he bought from an art exhibition. An artist had taken a glacial boulder from Iceland and brought it to the UK and was exhibiting that as a piece of art. So Bill Drummond bought it and took it back to Iceland and buried it. I mean, that's it's great stuff. They are, Adam Kent, justified and actually ancient. Static Sound says, didn't the KLF change their names a couple of times? Yes. You've got the Time Lords, the Jams, and some others. I'll leave you to look at. I I should do that on another Untitled Music podcast, because I have thought of doing some that concentrate on an artist, because Snarky Platypus, who does it with me, um, like he has a day job, so he can't necessarily do as many as I can. Excuse me. This wine doesn't have bubbles in it. What? Why is it doing this? So I've thought of doing like artists that I respect. The KLF, I'm a huge KLF fan from way back, and my Apple Music stats reveal that. Trevor Horn, one of England's great pop music producers. Think Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Thinks Video Killed the Radio Star. Think lots of stuff. I thought of doing an episode called I've Got the Horn, and just play tracks that he presented. I will, as Wolf points out, just have to relax. See what I did there? Okay, let me scroll back and see. As I say, this is just me flapping on. It's not structured. There's no quiz. There's, if you have questions, I've got to scroll way back. Adam, thank you for keeping up the flow. Adam, Cask Wine gets an unfair rap. Yeah, absolutely. The thing, it's something that an English friend of mine said to me ages back. In Australia, you get a $10 or $15 wine, it's going to be just fine. If you're in the UK and get a £7 bottle of wine, it's going to be garbage. And Australia has a wine glut at the moment. It wasn't helped by China doing a whole tariff thing. No, they just shut it down, didn't they? Oh no, it was a tariff. I think they put in 100% tariff. Anyway, I've checked the news. Last I saw was the middle of this year. Yeah, there's a wine glut again. This really hot summer coming up may affect that for the 2026 vintage, when grapes are harvested in February-ish 2026 to make wine. But we'll see. There's still a ton of good wine around. Oh, and Adam, the reason Broken Wood calls this label Cricket Pitch, Broken Wood's main label, they're about $26, $28-ish a bottle. The Cricket Pitch one is a bit cheaper. I got 2 of these for $30 at Liquorland today. That's the one you drink while playing cricket, I guess. Sunny afternoon. See, Wolfie, your granddad's online at 13 exactly. I like Wolf's idea of it could have been a rolling thing. So, 13-year-olds block next year, 14, but then it'd have to come back, wouldn't it? I was about to say too late now, but my hands are very green. Let me see if I can adjust that. Ooh. Oh, it's okay that side. Oh, I see what's happening. Yeah. Fuck it. I mean, that's the thing with this software. I can tweak it. I can go. Yeah, whatever. You got to. I won't bother explaining the. Yeah, there's some lighting things I could do to fix that. Jim's saying Australia has never really had a Van Ordinaire. I mean, Van Ordinaire is just wine for everyday drinking, which is all wine, right? Hey, I just realised I haven't played any critter videos. Would you like to see a bird while I look at this? Some birds. I've been going for 40 minutes and I haven't played any of my bird videos. Say you want birds. Oh, fuck you. I'm going to play one anyway. Australian king parrot. There's one that's been visiting me a lot. Here he is. He's got me sussed. There's about a minute of this one. This is him the other day. There's two adult couples. Okay, king parrot, Australian king parrot, the male, red up front, green behind. The female, I haven't got videos of the female. She's a little quieter, a little more hesitant. They're green up front, have a bit of red under the belly. They're very quiet. I haven't brought the audio level up for these. This one now insists on being fed separately from all the other birds. You're right, Splinter Mike, he's beautiful. Shut up, Static Sam. Here's another one showing how ridiculously insistent he can be. Yeah, he wants to be fed. I get like a lot of rosellas, magpies, 14 magpies this morning, 14 currawongs or 16 or something. And this fellow wants to be fed separately. And he's so insistent. Yeah, as you can see, he climbs onto my hand, won't go away, does now. I get another handful, and bang, down he is. You're right, Adam, I will miss the mountains in some ways. You can hear all the currawongs in the background on this one. And some magpies just strolling about in the background there. Oh, this is a 3-minute video. That's right. Well, Shaddock saying I won't miss the commute. The thing is, I don't commute that much to Sydney. I go down maybe once a week, sometimes not at all during the week. So, no, it's fine. And all right, it does take 2 hours to get down and 2 hours back, but you can work on the train if you want, or read, or whatever. I like this bit. Oh, I haven't got any video. Sorry, Wolf, I haven't got any videos of the magpies just handy. I've got lots on YouTube. Look at my critters playlist on YouTube. There's lots of the magpies there. The other thing that hits me about these birds, particularly king parrots and things like that, is that in Australia we kind of tend to take them for granted, don't we? Yep. Turn and look at the camera, mate. Today he was so insistent on being fed on his own, he came inside and indicated that he wanted seed put down on a surface just for him. So one of the other regular visitors I have is this lady, Swamp Wallaby. Wolfie the First, my elm is full of possums. My hovercraft is full of eels. There you go, I've dated myself. Nah, the swamp is great. This location here is literally 3 meters outside, you know, the window from my desk. You'll see that in a minute. When I throw you a daytime one, just quarter in the morning. This shows the colour of a swampy betta. Their taxonomical name is Wallabia bicolor. And the bicolor is because they've got this dark black colour and also a lighter tan markings. If you see some of my other pictures, these stumps on the right, lit sort of just across the path on the right from my desk. And in the background there, that camouflage cage thing, that's a fox trap because we have foxes. So this place, Bungery Cottages, it's on about 8 hectares of near virgin scrubland. There's 4 holiday cottages scattered in it. You know, a big family home for the Churgwin family and a 6th building that I'm in. Now, let me show you someone very special. This is from my desk. This is Edna the lyrebird photographed from my desk. They're the stumps in the background again that you saw in the previous shot. Shy retiring birds, my ass. Yeah, more than 50 species of birds have been seen here. If you look at the critter playlist, there's my magpie army, which is up to 22 at certain times of the year, although the core family is 8 now. It was 4, then 6, now it's 8. Currawongs is about 14 odd in the area. The few of the younger ones are getting very keen. One of the older adults is now very much knocking on the window to get my attention. There's a family of butcherbirds. There's a whole crew of crimson rosellas. There's a couple of brown cuckoo doves. Who else we got? They're the main ones. They're my main crew. And recently, a kookaburra who pounces down. And so the food I'm feeding them, this is a kind of semi-moist dog ball stuff. There's a couple of different brands. Aldi have a good one. It's a proper balanced diet. This one has been getting, well, I haven't seen it for a few weeks. But this is it. I'm going to, there it is, heard the family in the background and off it went. Couldn't find them. So I just play some clips end to end here at kookaburras because they're so much fun. So it's the same bird. It's been happy to get within about 2 meters of me if it makes the choice. And not so much 4 meters, say, if I move towards it. Hey, if you guys have any more questions, let me know. Otherwise, when we finish looking at kookaburras, I'll wrap it up. Oh, well, for the magpies I have, you should look at the videos I got. Yep, they come and fly and eat from a hand. They all have their own personalities, and I've got to know some of them. There's also one of the crimson rosellas who I've named Shifty because, unlike most parrots, he's right-handed, and he has a weird sideways shuffling motion. It's very distinctive. Well, not only can kookaburras tell the time, most of them can. It's just that I'm not consistent about when I wake up. So, they come in and they carol, they come into the house. One of the butcher birds flew in and just flew around my face and flew back out the other day to say, hey, food time. Why do their beaks rattle when they shake their head? I also love how they make sure that these little dog balls are dead. That sounds magpie on the roof. Jerkbirds in the background. And that in the background's a butcher bird. They are so loud. Okay, this is the last one of this little critter. This is only a very short video, and I'll talk over it because there's some other people in the background. And there we are. That's all the kookaburras. What else have I got? I've shown you the king parrots. I've shown you the wallaby. I've shown you the kookaburras. So that's it for me. Hey, hi Os Festivus. Did the Antechinus reappear? Last night I heard some Antechinus having a very rowdy root in the ceiling. So yes, they're back. Also, just before I started recording, just over there, I saw a rat. Not really the same thing. The Antechinus are around. I've heard them that haven't seen them. I'm assuming everyone in the chat now knows what an Antechinus is. They look about mouse sized. But they're a marsupial and they're a carnivore. They eat spiders and cockroaches and little insects and stuff. But their mating habit is interesting. The females build a kind of nest, and the males come, and it's an enormous sex frenzy that lasts a very short time. I think it's a couple of days, whatever. But the males are so into it, they burn off all their body fat and exhaustion and die after about a year. And the females do this for a couple of years and have babies and whatever. They're an intriguing critter. And the problem is they look a bit too much like a mouse or a small rat, and people kill them off. But they're fantastic. They're bold. I've had one here at one of the other buildings on the compound literally walk across the desk in front of me and pause and look at me, and I look at it and it looks at me, and we acknowledge each other's presence, and then it just kind of walks on its way. So, yes, people have said I will miss the mountains, but it's been 15 years. This is the longest I live in any one spot, like in my whole life. And it's like I grew up on a farm. I lived on a farm till I was about 11 years old, something like that. Okay, let's look at the chat before we wrap this up. Because, I need to have a piss if nothing else. I've got an empty cup over there, but, how classy would that be? Jim says, recapitulate the whole accommodation plan thing. That's a fair point. Also, that's there. Let me put up the other one, which is if you don't want to do that, because the whole thing with Possible, it's a lot of faff, just go here. stilgherrian.com/tip. That's always active. And I will say, in the new year, I will be restructuring all of the crowdfunding things. It's become a mess. I've been doing the same thing for several years. Wolfie, 60 years in the same house. I thought you were a little younger than that, but okay. Wow, that is very uncommon in Australia. Okay, so the whole accommodation thing. I'm in the mountains. Sometime before the end of March, Sanaki Platypus will be buying an apartment because I was about to say because he's filthy rich. He's not. But he is in a position to do so because reasons. He will be buying an apartment. I'm helping him look for it every Saturday down in Sydney now, which is another reason why I'm spending too much money. I will be moving in with him. I suppose as a lodger. That's a thing in law, a lodger. We're going to work that out. Anyway, so I'm helping him find the place. He'll get the place. I'll be there. Do not ask about our financial arrangements. It's not important. We've made a deal. So one, I will need a lot of support financially because of the aforementioned projects not happening to make that move possible. There will be a second crowdfunder in January focusing on that. Anyone who contributes or has ever contributed will get the private link to the unpacking, the unboxing. What did I call it? Only boxes. My only box. Ooh, that sounds wrong. There'll be a thing. I haven't worked out the details. There'll be a thing. You can all be part of it. Anything over $20, done, sorted. Go here if you don't want to go to the possible thing. I'll put this in the comments later. Yeah, this could have been better organised. Flatties, says Wolfie. Yeah, I suppose we will be. We're friends. We go way back. We're pretty sure we can put up with each other's shit in the podcast. So how long have people lived in the same place? What? 60 years, 25? What? No, Wolfie, your drugs are wearing off. I don't know what's going on. 14 years for Wolf, yeah, in the same. So we have both a Wolf and a Wolfie. It's very confusing. Yeah, this is the longest for me at 15 years. I lived with Pong in Enmore in Sydney, but like in 3 different places. One of the most amazing ones, though, is we rented one house and we knew we would eventually have to move out because the owner had said he would eventually want to sell it or family, or move in himself with family, something like that. But we knew that well in advance. And just one day, the real estate agent phoned me up and said, "Are you at home?" Yes. And she said, "Go out your front door, turn to the right, go 2 doors down and have a look at that house. And what do you think? If you like it, it saves me the whole rental thing. And I can just do it." And of course, she gets paid the commission no matter what, right? Dear. Hey, we're coming up to an hour. Have you people had enough of this? Flatmates is a word. Friends, cohabitators. Oh, no, that means something else, doesn't it? 10 years? Yeah, before that, 8 years on the farm. Probably 7 years in Gawler during my teens. It's that rat again. Oi! Yeah, I'm sure you've had enough of this, haven't you? Look, thank you. Let me know what you think. I'll leave this up so that you can wrap that up in the chat a bit. And yeah, please consider all of that. It's been more disorganized than I'd planned, but not as disorganized as some I've seen. Please consider burp. And yeah, I do contribute because I'd love to, all my stuff which I haven't had for 15 years. There's some good things in there. There's vinyl in there. I've got an autographed copy of Supernaut's debut album. It's got "I Like It Both Ways" on it, and "She's Too Hot to Touch." Oh God. Okay, there's the link. You all know it. Bye. Okay, you can go away now.